because he just couldn't face that maxed out Protoss army with all the carriers and Psystorm and Dragoons. So Flash went for mass turrets and Goliaths and eventually floated all of his production buildings over them, so basically forcing Jangbi to either attack suicidally or to concede a stalemate, and he was forced to concede stalemate. First Reaver out for Jangbi, being loaded with the Reaver and 2 Zealots for shuttle. Being loaded up, and I'm not sure if Flash is going to have enough to deal with this. His tanks are at the front door here, and I'm not sure if he has any tanks in the back, just turrets. And this Zealot combination could be very devastating to Flash's economy. Here it comes, here's a shuttle, and we'll see. This is going to be a battle of micro. Last game, Jangbi's drops were not too effective, I have to say, which definitely kept Flash pretty much equal to Jangbi in the early game. And honestly, in my evaluation of the play, I know Jangbi is the best, the second best Protoss player out there against Terran, but I still feel that Flash is not playing in his top form. I feel like last game he could have exploited advantage. But anyway, Jangbi dropping here and picking off about 4 or 5 SCVs, forcing Flash to pull all the SCVs from the natural expansion. Now dropping his Zealots, trying to pick off these tanks. Flash with some nice micro now, though, dancing in and out. But Flash looks like he's going to lose one tank. He might lose a second tank, trying to target down the Zealots. But of course, they take a lot of hits to go down. And he might even be able to pick off the second tank, although he's running away quite nicely now. And looks like the tanks will push off, and the Goliath's coming up. He might be able to take off the shuttle, and that would be absolutely huge. Didn't expect those Goliaths to come out so soon, but look, there they are. And Flash will save his tanks, save all but one of his tanks. So what I was saying was, I still don't feel, in my opinion, I don't feel Flash is playing his absolute best, like he would have played, say, 2 months ago against Jangbi. I think that he would have beaten Jangbi in say, it was a Flash of 2 months ago, back when he wasn't so exhausted by his personal life, I think, and by how many games he was playing. He hadn't reached that certain breaking point yet. But I digress there. By the way, some people have someone sent me an excellent link to a BBC documentary about pro gaming life. I'll thank him when I get a chance, but you should go search it up. And here's a lot of DTs coming out for Jangbi. I think he's going to switch from Reaver Shuttle to DT Shuttle. I think that would be a very smart switch right now. I think he's basically going to be able to get 2 shuttles in while Flash is dealing with one of them. He'll be able to drop DTs in another location and cause a lot of havoc. And now the DTs are being loaded up in the shuttle. Here it comes. Speed shuttles coming on the way, and Flash has a chance to, Jangbi has a chance to really take a serious advantage. Otherwise, if he loses this, though, Flash will have the advantage because it is 4 bases against 3, and Flash's macro is just extremely strong in the mid game, I feel. And here comes the drop now from Jangbi. Is he going to find a hole in Flash's defense? Last game he did find some holes, and he does find a relatively large hole here, only taking a few hits, trying to take down the Goliaths, focusing fire on the shuttle, but not before it unloads its deadly cargo. Its entire cargo has been unloaded, and now the Zealots and DT is causing a lot of harm in the middle here. It looks like a two-prong attack coming in. Jangbi going in from the front here once again, and not able to break through with his Dragoons. The block is just way too successful, and so he's not able to get in, but he's certainly still causing havoc in the back here. I'm not sure, I think Flash actually should have enough scans to deal with the DTs by themselves, but with the Reaver, it still could be quite devastating, absolutely, and lots of speed lots. You could hear the audience sighing there. So many speed lots coming out for Jangbi, and really, I'm not sure if Flash can hold this off. I think his army count has been whittled down a little bit in the beginning, and he certainly has been split. His attention has been split between 2 directions. Here comes the Zealots. They can still switch through, I think. They can still run through the gaps. No, they can't run through the gaps, actually. They're going to be forced to battle the SCVs before getting close up to the tanks, but if they take down the supply depot, this is going to be a game for Flash. He needs to focus down on that supply depot. That is the one thing keeping Flash's front door alive. The supply depot will go down now. No, he needs to focus fire on the supply depot. Flash bringing SCVs to repair. This is going to come down to the wire, but no, Zealots have gotten down through the south, and this is going to be it for Flash. He's going to lose his second expansion here, and I think he's going to lose the game afterwards. He's desperately trying to bring those forces in the back forward, but there's such a large force coming up. The Dragoons now hammering away at the supply depot, but no, Flash actually holds his defense. Absolutely insane there. Flash holds by the narrowest of margins, and I think it's because of that excellent block Flash had up in his front game. Absolutely crazy. But Flash just showing why he's dominant in the mid game and in the late game, just with that defense. Wow. But I wouldn't say Flash is out of the woods yet. I'm not sure what the fate of that drop was in the back. But Jangbi taking an opportunity to expand again, that will give him the advantage once again. By the way, the name of the person who referred it to me, that BBC video on on StarCraft Pro Gamers is Thunda SC. Thank you very much for that. And you can search it up. I believe you can search up Savior on BBC, and it talks a little bit about Savior, Savior's life in the pro games. Only about 6 minutes long, but search it up on YouTube. Savior on BBC should be a really interesting video to watch for you guys too. It talks about, you know, how he gets a room with 2 people in it instead of 6 because he was the best player on CJ at the time. This was made a year ago, which honestly, it's a big prize, I guess, relative to 6, but I expect at least a personal bedroom. I mean, come on. You know, it means he's Savior. But anyway, and it talks about how the pro gamers actually can have girlfriends because it really distracts them from their working, I guess, from their practice. Anyway, lots of vultures coming out from Flash. He needs to do some very good harassment to be able to come back economically, and he's going to try to do just that. Moving up behind the Dragoons, very good with finding that opening here. Running through the gap, he might be able to get into one of the expansions, though. Upper left expansion, probably the most vulnerable. Only 1 cannon there, and now unloading a lot of mines here, able to pick off some of these zealots as they push in here. Nice work by Flash. A very good harass so far, and lots of zealots going down there. Certainly by that alone he's gained a little bit of an advantage with this drop, but now coming in and trying to pick off the probes here. He needs to focus on the probes and not the cannon. That shows the degree of micro. When I try to run my vultures in along an expansion with a cannon, I can't control them well enough to just pick off probes. I mean, but Flash can, obviously. He's not me. +1 attack up for Flash, and that last vulture goes down, so doing a little bit of damage, but certainly not enough to equalize the game. And out of nowhere, carriers once again for Jangbi, not switching it up, and this time he is, I feel, going to be a lot more successful than last time, because Flash's economy has been consistently disrupted. Jangbi on 5 bases versus 3 now, and against a weakened Flash's army, very weakened because of all the constant attacks throughout the entire game. I'm not sure, even if Flash knows this is coming, if he can do anything about it. And by the way, did you see that there were 4 or 5 starports building? He wants those carriers out fast before Flash can react, and now going for a southern flank attack, once again exploiting the fact that Flash has to defend the southern flank as well as the western flank, and now catching him in a pincer here. Flash unable to redirect his forces in the correct direction. He's going to get flanked, and his men are breaking right now and dying en masse here, and wow, Flash is in huge trouble. He might lose before the carriers come out. I think the carriers are just going to be the nail, really the nail in the coffin here for Flash. Losing his tank count once again, losing almost all of his tanks. And honestly, I have to say, Jangbi played absolutely great this game. And Flash, I would pretty much chalk it up to the fact that he pushed out way too soon to try to get a second expansion, and hence lost his early tanks. And then Jangbi brilliantly went for a double drop, Reaver DT in the back, followed up by an attack at the front, picking off the remainder of Flash's new tanks there. Now with a dropship in the back, it might be filled with some Psystorm Templars too to storm those SCVs. And now trying to pick off the expansions at the lower right that Flash now is trying to get up here. And Flash, wow, he's not doing anything about this. And here comes the drop. Oh no! Great drop by Jangbi, picking off about 6 SCVs there and saving his High Templar also. And here comes the first carriers. There's absolutely no anti-air for Flash. GG coming from Flash, realizing there was no possible way he could come back. Flash, oh my goodness, being defeated by Jangbi. I couldn't say it's a terrible loss for him. It was a really exhausting game 1, and he managed to fight that to a draw, but Jangbi showing he has what it takes to beat Flash, the great Protoss killer. Honestly, I think Stork should be happy he didn't have to face up against Flash. I don't think Stork would have done so well. But anyway, that's neither here or there. There's Firebat here looking quite excited. If this goes to Game 5, once again, like I predict, it will be Flash versus Firebat Hero because it is on the map Othello. Thanks for Spaceball at SC2GG for giving me that line, by the way. And there's Naura talking to Flash. Certainly an exhausting Game 1 for both players. They had to play it twice after all. And Flash not winning in the second one, Jangbi managing to catch victory. Next game, we're probably going to have a much shorter game. We're going to have 8-15 versus Hades, and that is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg, so that should be very exciting and quick.